I've been asked repeatedly, how should we interpret and respond to the unfolding events in the Middle East, particularly in light of some high-profile voices within so-called conservatism encouraging President Trump to adopt a more isolationist stance? Let me say this. It is in America's vital interest to stand with Israel, especially now, as the Middle East undergoes a tectonic shift, which may alter the geopolitical landscape for generations to come. As a Marine veteran, I'm not a hawk. I don't believe America should be the world's policeman, nor do I support endless foreign wars. But retreating into isolation is not a strategy. It's a gamble with consequences we cannot afford. A global leadership vacuum will not remain unfilled. It will be occupied by regimes hostile to freedom and democracy. To cede that space is not only naive, it is dangerously short-sighted. Now, I'm thankful that Israel did not wait on America before acting on their military intelligence that the window of opportunity to eliminate the existential threat posed by Iran's nuclear program was closing, and so they acted. Tehran's ambitions have never been hidden. For decades, the leaders of the Islamic Republic have vowed to eradicate the Jewish state. In December 2000, Iran's supreme leader called Israel, quote, a cancerous tumor that should be removed. In August 2012, then President Ahmadinejad declared, quote, any freedom lover and justice seeker in the world must do its best for the annihilation of the Zionist regime, end quote. Now, that's not rhetoric to be ignored. You know, Jesus said in Matthew 15:18, those things which proceed out of the mouth come from the heart. You know, we would do well to take that admonition seriously. And his history teaches this lesson. The world dismissed Adolf Hitler's speeches as the ravings of a madman. The result, a global war that killed an estimated 70 to 85 million people. America didn't enter that war until it was attacked at Pearl Harbor, yet our delay came at great cost. The Jewish people in particular have learned that when an ideologically driven regime threatens to destroy them, they cannot afford to wait. They must act or risk annihilation. Now, I was present in the U.S. House chamber both in 2015 and 2024 when Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu addressed joint sessions of Congress. In both speeches, he warned not only of Iran's threat to Israel, but of its broader threat to the United States and the entire free world. And he was right. Last week, Israel acted, reportedly with a tacit nod from Washington, to prevent Iran from reaching nuclear capability. The final outcome is yet to be seen, but I am confident in Israel's ultimate success, not because of American weaponry or military aid, but because of Israel's increasing reliance on God. That is a far more dependable ally than any modern nation. Now, let's be clear. America needs Israel more than Israel needs America. By standing with Israel, we unlock the blessings of God. As God promised Abraham in Genesis 12:3, I will bless those who bless you, and I will curse him who curses you. And in you all the families of the earth shall be blessed. The prophet Joel says nations will be held to account by how they treat Israel. For behold, in those days and at that time I will gather all the nations, and I will enter into judgment with them there on the account of my people, my heritage Israel, whom they have scattered among the nations. They have also divided up my land. This is not just about ancient empires. This is a prophetic declaration that includes all modern nations, including the United States. That brings me back to why the isolationist sentiment gathering traction in some corners of the Republican Party is both misguided and dangerous. You know, when my children were young, one of them once asked me to buy something, and I told them we didn't have the money for it. And without hesitation, they responded, well, just drive to the bank and get some money out of that machine. Well, that moment became a teaching opportunity. Withdrawals require deposits. For decades, America has drawn on a global account filled by our leadership, our values, and yes, our engagement. And we've benefited immensely. Because of our strategic alliances and proactive leadership, the wars that we have fought have largely been overseas, sparing our own soil from the devastation experienced by many other nations. Our global posture has protected not just our interests, but our homeland. Leadership carries obligations. not to fight every war, but to shape the world in ways that protect freedom, promote stability for everyone, and ultimately benefit American citizens. This is not charity. It's strategic stewardship. Now, some argue that global engagement is too expensive, but the truth is this: America's privileged position in the world economy that has given us such a great standard of living is because we're, in part, the issuer of the world's primary reserve currency. And it's enabled us to borrow and spend on a scale unmatched in history. Yet our ballooning national debt is not the result of foreign aid or military partnerships. Foreign aid represents less than 1% of our federal spending. In contrast, roughly 70 to 75% of our budget is consumed by domestic spending, with about 65% categorized as mandatory: Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid, and the interest on the debt. These are the primary drivers of our fiscal crisis, not our standing with allies. Now, let me be unequivocal. For those who say we cannot afford to support Israel, I say we cannot afford not to. If we abandon our support for Israel, we will soon discover that the account of God's blessing on America is overdrawn. We have long benefited from the undeserved favor of God. This is more than geopolitical. It is about biblical truth. We are in a moment that demands moral clarity, not political convenience. Israel's cause is just. Their restraint has been remarkable. Their enemies are emboldened. Their future is not guaranteed except by God. As Americans, we should not only recognize that truth, we should align ourselves with it. If we want to secure our future economically, politically, and spiritually, we must stand with the nation that God Himself has called the apple of His eye.